are rolling.
We are rolling. Welcome to Bourbon on the Water. Our dear friend Dean, who normally posts Bourbon on the Water, was unable to make it, so Goose and I are going to handle this episode of Bourbon on the Water.
Yeah, we're here at our fall ADK destination. Very shallow lake, little windswept. Brook trout, brown trout. Very, very beautiful, as Jim referred to. Today we have, this may have been on a previous episode, but we have Knob Creek straight bourbon whiskey, aged 9 years. This is actually 100 proof, so it's playing for keeps. But let's open it up and do a review. Okay, easier said than done. Got your Leatherman?
We've had some rye the last couple days, so it's going to be a nice change of pace here to go to the bourbon. So let's give this one a try.
Cheers, Jim.
Cheers.
Bourbon on the water. Little windswept. It's tasty. Knob Creek is solid. You can't go wrong with Knob Creek. It's 100 proof, and you could definitely tell it's 100 proof, but it doesn't have too big of a bite at the end. It's pretty smooth actually.
Yeah, first impressions are smooth and it's balanced. It just seems like it has a lot of nice flavor to it. So it's but yeah, you have to be careful with the with the 100 proof, and we have whitecaps out there today, so we decided to stay on shore and but
so the chances of us going out after a few of these are slim to none. So
whiskey rule number 22: wear your life vest if you're going out in whitecaps.
I know Dean was supposed to make it, as Jim referred to. He couldn't make it, but before we left, we spoke on the phone, and he's like, you know, what are we going to drink out of? And he says, I'm going to drink out of a glass, and I'm going to drink out of a shot glass. And to me, there's different theories on that. Drinking out of a glass, you know, like you said, your day is over as far as fishing goes. This, you know, I like to have a nice shot with a beer, so you know, I'm not just drinking just bourbon, just mixing it up a little bit, which is nice. And
yeah, it's really smooth. It goes well with beer. It goes well with a lot of different things, and food, and
strong.
I think it would go well with a brook trout.
Oh yeah, how about that?
I think what we'll do is put this brookie in the pan with some butter, and we're gonna enjoy it with some Knob Creek.
I think it's probably good, but
Jimmy caught that one. I could have easily said that I got that, and you would never know the difference. But Jim got that one. Yeah, even what do they say? The blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. That's Pin. That's Pin. Cheers, Jim.
Cheers.
Bourbon on the water.
So, sometimes life imitates art. And sometimes art imitates life. And sometimes art imitates life, imitating art. And sometimes life just gets in the way of a good fishing trip. And that's what happened. I was halfway up north, and something happened down south that I had to attend to. There was no two ways about it. I turned around and went home, and my buddies filled in for me and made a great video. It's nice to have friends like that, right? They're terrific. A couple things. Jim got the whiskey rule right. It was whiskey rule 22, my first video. I did Smuggler's Notch. It was really cold and icy, and Whiskey Rule 22 was applied. If it's safer to sit and drink bourbon than it is to fish, well, be smart and sit and drink bourbon. So they nailed that one. They got that right. I also liked their review. These are regular guys like me, okay? These are guys that have been drinking a lot of whiskey for a lot of decades. And I don't know if you picked up on it, but they said they'd already drank a bottle of Bullet Bourbon and a bottle of rye. And now they're drinking this Knob Creek during the day here on day 3. Well, it's only a 3-day trip, so they've already drank 2 bottles of whiskey and they're starting day 3. So that's who you're dealing with here, okay? But they did a great job, and this is a terrific bottle. And I'm just going to give you my 2 cents here with this bottle here. These guys explained it very well. It's aged 9 years. It's 100 proof, straight bourbon whiskey. And I'll tell you what this whiskey is for me. A lot of people like to look for super duper smooth whiskeys, like a Canadian whiskey or a Four Roses. If you're looking for that, don't reach for this, because this is a real whiskey here. I mean, I'm not saying those aren't, but this has some nibble to it. It has some bite to it, a nice bite, and it's just like whiskey. This is like, the word whiskey makes me think of Knob Creek. Okay, it's whiskey, man. Yeah. This is a good fishing whiskey. It has a nice finish. Not the, I mean, a little burn. A little burn. If it's cold, you want the burn, okay? But I think Jim said well balanced. If you like a little kick, this is well balanced. It stays with you for a second. And Goose is right about it playing for keeps. 100 proof. And this is a small batch. It's quality control. It's pretty darn good, man. Just a nice whiskey, you know? Whiskey with a little to it. That's what this is. It's delicious. Appreciate my friends. They did a good job. Bourbon on the water. Things are going well here.